Today we're going to be talking about like the dangers associated with phishing, which is cyber hacking. Phishing is just another word for cyber hacking. So let's just get right into it. Let's start off by defining what phishing is. Well, it's a form of cyber hacking in which someone attempts to steal personal and private information by using deceptive emails, websites, and messages to trick the person receiving them. Let's look at how it works. Well, when someone is phished, they are sent suspicious emails. They can be from a source or from a person or company that just doesn't seem right. And these emails often contain links or download prompts, which when clicked on provide access to your computer to the hacker. So when you click on the computer, it downloads a software or it takes you to a website that allows the hacker to gain access to your computer and control it from wherever the hacker is. And to confuse people, these emails are sent out with pretense of being some type of company or a trusted friend. So, like, it could be someone from your bank or that they use to try and trick you into opening the emails and interacting with them. So, starting out with the origins of phishing, phishing started around the dawn of the internet. So, it's been around pretty much since the internet has been around. When email and other forms of communication became popular, phishing also rose. And as these attackers knew that many people wouldn't understand the new technology, so tricking them would be fairly easy once the right malware was developed. So as you can see, like they like to take advantage of people who are not familiar with how to use technology and are not familiar with phishing in general. So it's really important to be able to actually learn about technology and phishing so that you don't get tricked. So let's look at how phishing has evolved since then. As time went on and more people began to catch on to it, phishing needed to advance. And with the addition of antiviruses, which is certain apps that you can download onto your computer that would help act as a block for phishing and viruses. But once those were added, hackers needed to step up their game. So they began to put more effort into their phishing attempts and started to target the older generation, who are often less knowledgeable about technology, which leaves them more vulnerable. And the information which is found on social media, these fishers could pose as their targets might know, so as to raise less suspicion surrounding the bait. So let's look at some different types of phishing. And there are two types of phishing which can be beneficial to know so that you can stay safe. The first type of phishing is when the fisher attempts to trick you into thinking you are putting your information into an official website. And then the second type is the fisher attempts to trick you by posing as someone you trust. Emails or messages which try to get you to input sensitive data. These emails may ask for the recipient to enter their personal information by posing as a bank, asking for your account information, or maybe the IRS waiting for you to pay your taxes. What would happen is once you click that link, it would take you to a website that you think is reputable. So it's just the hacker's own website. And then when you put your information into that website, people will be able to take over your information. The second form of phishing is when the hackers try to seem more discreet and often have you download their malware onto your computer unknowingly. This happens when the fisher prompts you to open a document file, often a zip file from a fake account, claiming to be a person you know, which when open infects your computer without you knowing. And the malware will give the hacker access to your computer, allowing your important data to be stolen or viewed. So now let's get back into how to prevent from being phished. One way to do that is by making sure and checking over the legitimacy of any emails that you receive. So that could be checking over the spelling and the grammar of the emails and the links. So for example, if an email comes in and there are a lot of spelling mistakes and the grammar is off in the email, especially if it's from a company, oftentimes the information in that is going to be incorrect. And then you want to identify whether or not you've been sent the right website. So if they include a link in the website, you want to go onto your own browser on your own and make sure that the website that they've linked is the same website that you get when you search it up on Google. Next, if you receive a suspicious email, even if it's from a trusted source, it is advised to separately email the person who sent it to you and ask them if they had sent you the email, as it may have been someone posing to be them. So for example, if you get an email from a friend and it seems a bit suspicious, maybe they're asking for a bit too much information than they usually would, what you want to do is you might want to email them separately or call them or text them and make sure that it's really them that was the one that sent the email. And if you call them and they say it wasn't them that sent the email, then most likely it is a phishing email or they're trying to hack into your computer. And one more thing is to also never post any personal information on social media, such as your address, email, or your passwords, because these can be used to hack into your devices and take advantage of your personal data. So here's just a brief summary of what you need to know. So let's start off with what scammers are after. They're usually after your passwords, your financial information, your identity, and your money. And we usually fall for these scams because we feel that in these scams, there's a sense of urgency. They're asking you to do something right now, so you're not really thinking very straight. And then we have a desire to please. So when we get that email, we want to complete the task that was given in the email. Um, and then we feel a bit greedy sometimes. Oftentimes we're curious. So if the email includes a link that we're not too sure about, most likely we're going to click the link just to see what it's about, which can be which could lead us to being hacked. And then there's complacency, so that we don't take the proper measures to see if something is phishing or not. And then there's fear. Probability that a phishing message succeeds is 1 in 10, which is actually quite a lot. And then we also need to watch out for spelling and grammar errors, the sending address, and things that sound too good to be true. As it's often the saying, if it sounds too good to be true, it often is. And it's the same thing with phishing emails. And then we also need to be aware of unsolicited messages, which include attachments, links, and login pages. And if you see something, say something. So now let's get into a few examples of phishing. This is example number 1, and on the right you can see it is an email from PayPal. And this is a common example of phishing. We can see that this person who has received an email from PayPal, which asks them to log into their account, uses the link that the document provides them. This link will most likely take the recipient to a web page that will be set up to look like the actual PayPal website, but in reality, logging into this fake page would allow hackers to access and steal your personal information. To avoid these kinds of scams, pay attention to the tone of the message. Here we can see that it is threatening the recipient with suspension of their account if they do not log in, which is unprofessional and unbusinesslike. So yeah, it's just adding that bit of urgency, because once you hear that your account is temporarily limited, you feel urgency that you need to get your account back and you need to reactivate it, which is what they kind of buy into as hackers. And in an email like this, you also want to confirm that your account is limited. So if it's saying that your account is limited or you've been locked out of your account, before you interact with the email at all, you want to go onto your own official PayPal account or onto the official website of PayPal and log in and see if your account has been limited or suspended in any way. And if it hasn't, then it's most likely a phishing email. Here's example number 2. And we can see another example of phishing where a fake Wells Fargo account is sending messages on LinkedIn. A recipient is sent a link which is supposedly meant to reactivate their key, which has apparently expired. This is a way that scammers use links and emails to fool people into falling for their traps. As you can see on the right, they've asked for an activation key, and it's given them a link. And as you can see, the link there doesn't really seem exact or official. It's got, for one, if you can see in the link, which is blue on the right side, it says HTTP. To make sure you're going to a secure website, any secure website would start with HTTPS. So that's one thing to look out for when you're deciding which websites are secure and which ones are not. That S stands for secure or safe, and you want to make sure that any website where you're giving any personal information has that S. And as you can see, if it's supposed to be a Wells Fargo account, it should probably be wellsfargo.com, but it's something different. So that's a couple things you need to look out for before you would decide to click on that link. And then, as you can see, once clicking the link in the message, the recipient is taken to this page where they are prompted to enter their information. This format of this scam is often similar to others, where a lot of sensitive information that will not generally be asked by a business bank account number, SIN number, etc., is required. If you see something like this, it's often a fraud. So you can see they're asking you for the account number, but they're asking also for a lot of information, social security number. They're asking for card numbers, driver's licenses. It seems like a lot of information for uh, what seems like a minor issue. So if you feel like they're asking for a lot of information, they probably are someone phishing, or if they're asking for too much, it's probably a bad sign. So let's look at a third example. Our recipient receives a message from Dropbox, which prompts them to click on the button to view a document supposedly shared with them by a friend. For those who don't know, Dropbox allows you to upload and download files and share them between a group of friends or with singular friends, so that it acts as a way to communicate documents and share them with each other. One must be careful with these, as it could potentially be a link which could infect your computer with a virus or attempt to steal your information by asking you to put it in. If it is from someone you personally know, reach out to them and ask them if they have sent you a message like this one. So in this example, it's supposedly from a friend who has asked to or has shared a document with the recipient. So if you are in that position, what you should do is you should directly communicate with your friend and confirm that it's really them who is sending the message. And if it wasn't them that was sending them the message, then it's likely a phishing or a hacking scam. Okay. Let's move on to what you should do is suspect someone is attempting to phish you. First thing you should do is report suspicious senders. You can report these either to whoever is managing your email, so it could be Outlook or iCloud. And if it becomes serious, you could also report that to the police. Be wary of what links you click on. It's good practice not to click on or download anything that you don't know the contents of. So if you receive a strange email and you don't know what the link is, or you don't know what the document attached is, you shouldn't click on it. You should only click on things that you know. And make sure that you verify that the person who is phishing you is indeed a poser. So ask the real person if they have sent you an email by contacting them via text, call, or any other method. And then phone the institution that the email claims they are representing to see if the message is legitimate. So for example, if PayPal is the one who has sent you an email, call the PayPal services and confirm whether it was them or someone else who had sent that message. You should also be wary of anyone asking for your SIN or SSN. Most businesses or individuals will never ask for this information. So anytime someone is asking for this information, especially over a medium like email, or like a Google or like a form that you have to fill out, most likely it is fraudulent. And if you receive a phishing message from the account of a friend, inform them that they might have been hacked. This is especially big on social media. I know on Instagram it happens a lot. And if you make the mistake of putting in your information or clicking on a suspicious link, make sure to change your passwords and contact whoever you need to help it get resolved. For example, your bank. Here are some more resources about phishing. So thank you for listening. If you'd like to learn this session with a Cyber Seniors member, please go to the Cyber Seniors website or call in to register for a one-on-one phone session. We also host weekly tech drop-in sessions from 2 to 3 p.m. on Thursdays. Thank you very much.